Hello, I am so excited to be having a conversation today with fabulous Casey. She is my go-to all things mid-Michigan, in that area. She's located in mid-Michigan and she is an HR awesome pro. And I love it every time we get to chat. Normally it's just at HRUnite in July. So
Yes.
this is a special treat because it's fall and I'm talking to Casey. So Casey, how is your HR day going?
Love it. It's going good. Yeah. We added someone new to our office, to our team. She's on vacation today, but we are divvying out tasks and we're knocking things out and getting them done. So we're getting comfortable and it's good when you find a team member. It feels like she's always been with us. It's like she's always been a part of the team. So she's fit in really nicely and easily. So we're happy to have her.
Fabulous, fabulous. So obviously I know who you are, but for the sake of everybody
Yes.
else, can you, Casey, tell us a little bit about your HR story and what led you to be a steward of people?
So, I think, I don't know if you feel this, Tina Marie, but I feel like a lot of people feel like they fall into HR. They don't like raise their hand one day and have like this awakening that's like, oh my God, I think I need to be an HR manager. Like, I don't think that happens to anyone. But I think like a lot of it, I've always had like a passion for communicating with people. And I think it just started at a really young age. I went to a different school every year until the seventh grade. I was raised by a single mom, so it was just different things. A single mom who's now an attorney that, really worked her butt off to get to where she is, right? So I think, I was shuffled around a lot and I knew at a young age, like, if I didn't want to sit in the cafeteria by myself at lunch, I was going to have to be the one that said, hi, I'm a new third grader here. I'm Casey. Can I sit with you? So I think it just kind of stemmed from that. Like, I think a lot of what we do, it's like you kind of have to have a little bit of a natural ability. Some of it is not always learned or taught, it's just that natural communication. So I think that that's kind of helped me along the way be able to talk to just about anybody. But really for HR, I was in my early years in college and I applied for a co-op position at an automotive industry that was just in the HR office and I applied, I got it. I started out filing and then it just grew into so much more to I did anything from being in an administrative role to then tracking the short-term disability and FMLA, to then just learning like our systems. And there was a union there, so learning the dynamics of how our systems worked and following that union contract. And then having that background before I was put into the plant as an HR business partner for a plant, having that background of having that office experience before helped me so much because a lot of the questions that came to me were using those systems that someone who didn't have that experience first was kind of like, oh, where do I find this? Let me get back with you, where I already had that. So I felt I could help people some more. But it was a great experience. It was my worst and greatest experience I think that I had. It was tough. I'm from a small town, and it took the little girl out of the bubble that thought, oh, this is how people live. We have white picket fences. And, it kind of, I learned so much, not only in my career, but also like personally, because it was different demographics, it was work and family life situations, and it was tough and hard, but I'd do it 10 times over because it made me so much more today.
I love it. And there's so much, I appreciate you shared your story from having to move a lot and having to be that
Yeah.
person that initiates and builds trust with people,
Yes.
and putting
It could
yourself
have been
out.
very different, right? Like being a little child, I could have sat in the corner, right? I guess I took the different approach and was like, I'm beating them to it. I'm going to do the talking first.
It's kind of extended into your HR career because you are a person that brings HR to the people. And it
Sure.
probably stems back from your having to build relationships and initiate those relationships. Instead of people
Yes.
coming to you, you went and opened the doors to get that relationship started.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. So we always ask two questions of everybody that hangs out on Convos with Connections.
Yes.
The second question is self-reflection. If there was one moment that shaped your HR career or had the most impact or influence, and it sounds like you shared some of this already,
Yeah.
what was it?
So I really think looking back and reflecting, really, I think was learning what not to do as an HR manager. And I kind of caught on quick of I knew what I didn't want to be, right? So I had some coworkers, I had some supervisors, some people that trained me that even being new and inexperienced, I had staff members that would hold their questions and wait for that other person to leave and then come and ask me. And I'm thinking, you're asking me, I don't know anything, but they trusted that I'd get them the answer, and I was their buffer of that negative experience that they were going to have with that other person. So I was like, oh gosh, I see what they're doing. Like, I don't want to be that. I want anybody and everybody to come to me with whatever, and we can have that conversation, whatever it is. I want people to be comfortable. So that was probably the eye opener to me when I saw people doing that. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be that. So, how can I put things into place, or how can I present myself or deliver my own self in a way that people feel comfortable? And I think it kind of just comes back to that natural communication where, that is key in like engaging people and getting them to talk to you and tell you things that maybe you don't even want to hear, but you need to know, right? So I think that was kind of the big eye opener for me, is I knew what I didn't want to be.
And I love it because when we get down to it, we're HR professionals are people too. And so
Yep.
kind of approaching that, um, having that foresight to treat people as you want to be treated and recognize that this is not the way I would want to experience it. So I'm not going to allow me to create those experiences for others.
Yes. And I think too, like kind of along with that, like I probably share way more as an HR manager, like about my life and things that I probably should, but within reason, right? But I do that on purpose because I want people to be like, I want them to know, hey, guess what? I had a bad morning. I stepped in dog shit on my way here and I still made it. I still, coffee in hand, I made it here. I'm here to work. I'm here to help you. But like, showing that you're real and showing that side, it's like you can work through these tough conversations that we have to have in HR. But when you have like that type of I guess like an outlook on it, or maybe that type of a personality, it's like people are like, yeah, we get it. She has a tough job, but she's easy to talk to. We can work with her, and I can deliver sometimes pretty bad information, but still be able to work with these people and still be able in these negative situations to still have some type of a positive outcome. So I think part of that is just attributed to being real and showing people again, like we're trying to run a business and I'm here to protect the company, but we're doing that with real people and real employees. And that's what we want to make sure that we're servicing, right? So I think it's that balance.
I am celebrating that all day long. Not the part of stepping in the dog poo, but we've all been there. And sometimes it's in the living room at 3 in the morning when you're trying to get to the
Yes.
restroom. Just
Yep. Been there.
go.
Yep. Been
All
there.
those days. But I think the fact that you treat people as people and show them that we
Yeah,
are people ourselves, it gives them a sense of trust and respect that at the end of
for
the
sure.
day, that you're going to be fair and you're treating them as people, regardless of what you're sharing. They can respect
Yes,
you because you are authentically a person. I mean,
for
acting like a
sure.
person. You're not, an HR
Yes.
We don't live in the pearly, the castle, and some
Absolutely.
places do. We're in like a lockdown. But
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And that's again, that's part of, what I didn't want to be, right? So, yeah.
love it, love it, love it. So, one question we ask that I didn't share ahead of time is the fact that we give you an opportunity to give a shout out to somebody in the HR community. So, we believe in the
Oh,
power of connections. So, is there somebody that you want to give a shout out to, or you feel like we should all connect with, or no?
oh man. So honestly, sometimes I'm not, I think HRUnite, Tina-Marie, is my biggest like HR connection that I have anymore, being at a smaller company. Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could share like my I guess my boss that I had that was in HR, that was the industrial HR manager that I had at my prior employer, Duran Pruitt. He really mentored me, and he took a chance on myself of being inexperienced and young. And he just kind of said, "Hey, listen, this is the real world. Things happen, and you got to learn to roll with it and realize that everybody's coming here to do a job. At the same time, we're running a business and we got to make it work. We got to make it go." So I think that that would probably be my shout out of the up and coming career when in my younger years in HR.
What we do is we are going to have a little shout out slide with a QR code. So, how we can all connect with Duran Pruitt,
Okay,
as well as how we can all connect with you, Casey. So,
perfect.
it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad that you leaned into having this conversation today. Every July, it would not be an HRUnite conference if I didn't get to see you and your partners in crime, which are now a team of three. So
Yes,
I look forward to it. And Sean, I'm still nudging Sean Lee so we can come up and go crash the Big B so we can see all of you hopefully soon. He's just a little busy right
yes,
now, but
yes,
um,
would love it.
always a pleasure. And I am so grateful that you are part of my HR Helping HR network. And I will say,
Yes.
whenever I've needed phone to friend, you are like on it. And if you don't know, you're going to get 7 people in your network. You are
You
like
got it.
hot on a bone detective. But
Yep.
that's what we do. That's how we support each other. So thank you for all you do, not just for the organization you serve and for making your HR team better. They're lucky to have you, but thank you for being part of the HRUnite community. We are so grateful to have you. And oh, by the way, we hope you share your story more because it's amazing.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.